Well, these Antrim and Derry Fiddlers nights were, as I said, they also tolerated singing, and it wasn't long until I was asked up to start to sing at some of these gatherings. And in 1963, there was one of their gatherings, it was in Damining, outside Ballymena in County Antrim, and I sang the Moorlough Shore, which I sang 2 verses of earlier, as one of the songs that I sang. And this man came over to me and asked me for the words, that his grandmother had sung this song and he would very much like the words. And this turned out to be Joe Holmes. He was well known in the area as a fiddler, but he didn't seem to be known as a singer at all. And it turned out he was a wonderful singer with a huge repertoire of songs. And as Nancy mentioned earlier, I hope to have a book and some recordings out in due course on his repertoire and his life and times. He worked in various jobs. His first job was carrying the red flag in front, not in front of Karl Marx, but in front of a steamroller. And that was his first job at 14, and then he went from there on to being a flex scutcher, and then he was a greenkeeper for the last 20 years of his life. Anyway, I got Joe's address off him that night in 1963. I was 19 and he was 57, nearly 40 years difference between us. But I called around with the song some days afterwards, and in turn for the song, Joe sang for me, and we formed a friendship that went on from 1963 until 1978 when he passed away. So the very first song, funny enough, that he sang me was one that appears in Francis Child's collection under number 248, and he calls it The Grey Cock. And Professor Child could only find one text for it. In 1769, David Hurd published a version of it, a shorter version of it, in his ancient and modern Scots songs. And I was delighted to see that a version was collected over in these parts, not too far away, in Tennessee, by Frank and Ann Warner in the 1950s. And I'll just see if I can find it. Yep, here we go. Hattie Hicks Brisnell from Spice Creek, Tennessee, sang a version, and it tickled my fancy, 1951, because Hattie had chickens crowing. Did you ever hear chicken crow? I haven't. My pretty little chicken, my pretty crowing chicken, say, don't you crow before day. I'll make your wings of yeller beaten gold, and your comb of silver so gay, 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 and your comb of silver so gay. So there you are. Only in America would chickens crow. So this is a version of the Grey Cock, the very first song that Joe sang me. It happened for to be on a cold winter's evening, a fair maid sat waiting alone. She was thinking of her father, likewise her aged mother, aye, and also her true lover John. Young Johnny came at last, and he found the door was fast. He slowly, slowly tinkled at the pane. This fair maid she arose, and hurried on her clothes in order to let young Johnny in. She took her in her arms, and off to bed they went, and this there they lay talking of their plan. I wish this maid, says she, this night would prove to be, aye, as long since the world first began. Fly oh fly my pretty little conch, and don't crow until it breaks day. And your cage it shall become of the very shining gold, and your wings of a silvery grey. But this pretty little conch So cruel as he was, he crowed out an hour too soon, and he sent my love away before the break of day, it being only the light of the moon. This fair maid she arose, and she quickly followed after. When will you come to see me? When the fishes they do fly, and the seas they all run dry, and 7 moons shine brightly o'er yon lea. There's once I thought my love was as constant unto me as the stones that lie under yon ground. But now since I do find he has altered his mind, I would rather live single as be bound.